Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, December 5th, 2017. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Coming together in a united front today, the leadership of the opposition New Democratic Party, NDP, is given the assurance that they are focused and unified amid some internal wranglings. Our news team caught up with the three top executive members of the party today as they were leaving the studios of Nice Radio. President Dr. Godwin Friday said that the NDP is not divided and is stronger than ever as the party celebrates its 42nd anniversary. Dr. Friday said the party remains focused on removing the Unity Labour Party from office.
And we just had a wonderful day today to re-emphasize to our supporters that we are together in one common cause, which is to bring the New Democratic Party to government of this country, because that is what the country needs now. The Unity Labour Party is a spent force in this country. For us to put all of our energies and focus on that task is what we recommit ourselves here today to doing. And as I said earlier on the program, the radio program, it's easy for us to do because those things that divide us are less important than the things that keep us together. And what puts us together is our emphasis on the interests of the people of this country, to make sure that we deliver as a political party. Those people put faith in us, It's not about me, Friday, or Leacock, or Patel as individuals. It's not even about the New Democratic Party. That's a vehicle for us to deliver those things to the people of this country. And we are all in complete agreement on that. For those who are, willing the demise of the New Democratic Party, just say that their optimism in that regard is exaggerated. It's premature. The New Democratic Party is strong and indivisible because we work on behalf of the people of this country.
The NDP president said that those who were wishing to see the NDP demolished will be disappointed. He further pointed out that while his leadership style may be questioned at times, he would always do what is in the best interest of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yes, Dr. Friday, you've said all these nice, airy things about the New Democratic Party, and congrats on...
Real things.
Real things, you said, yes. Okay. But what about, the leadership? I know that Leacock and some others are questioning your leadership.
Well, it's not a matter of questioning your leadership. There's one leader in the Democratic Party. The way I lead in the party is to get the advice and the cooperation of all my team. I'm not going to be going out there and making decisions and everybody following. One day you'll find that you're walking and nobody is following, But if you see from the way in which we have functioned over the past year under my leadership, we have built on the platform that was created there by Anam Youssef, has handed to the new leadership going forward. We've been very, very busy, We've been doing a lot of things around the country, going out and meeting people. And that is how I expect all of my colleagues to represent. That is to say, if you're going to represent people, you have to go out and meet them, find out what it is they want, and to deliver that for them. And that is what we're doing, And anything else of a criticism as leadership and all of that stuff, some of that is just, about style and so on. But right now, the substance of it is that we want to deliver for the people. I believe that we are doing so. People are coming towards the New Democratic Party, especially the young people. And the more that we can present to them that we are united in that cause with them.
Dr. Friday said that a meeting held today in private with other executive members was fruitful as issues that needed to be addressed were dealt with. The NDP leader said that while he understands the expressions of frustration vented out on the airwaves by one of the party's vice president, Major Sinclair Leacock, could have been misinterpreted. The party functions democratically and is always willing to listen.
Leacock's expression that he was not comfortable with certain issues in the party?
Well, listen, we always have frank discussions in the party. The problem, the concern is not so much that people express differences. What we are saying is the forum in which we do it, and we've all agreed on that. That some things it's better that we deal with them as a team together. The way you have differences, you sort them out and then we go forward. And that's something that we were committed ourselves to. But, Sinclair is here, he could answer your question as well, that if it's addressed to him directly. But I'm satisfied with that we have agreed on our approaches going forward. for all of us, you know. It's not just for the three of us here, it's for all of us, all of our executive members, the members of our parliamentary caucus, that when we speak for the New Democratic Party, we speak with one voice. And I'm heartened to know that there's a recommitment for that, and that it's something that we will look forward to going.
And Vice President of the NDP, Major Sinclair Leacock, said he is happy that things have now been resolved, noting that the concerns he had with regards to the operations of the party have been properly ventilated. Leacock, who was disgruntled over matters such as the appointment of senators, did not say much about what transpired at today's special meeting of the executive of the party. He, however, noted that issues will now be handled better to ensure the smooth operation of the party.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Cheryl. Very fine.
I see you with your colleagues here now, your executive members. Have you ironed everything out?
Yes, we have, you know, Cheryl. I mean, and I'm not going to allow this interview to be an opportunity for me to separate from what we agreed on this morning, so you won't have the details of that. First of all, I would say that Dr. Friday did the right thing by calling a meeting of his vice presidents and allowing us to speak candidly about the things that matter to us. I had the benefit of his explanations, and I thought my vice presidential colleagues, Patel, was also more than helpful with the candor in which he expressed himself. I'm sure coming out at the end of the meeting, we were better and richer for the fact that those principles on which guide us into the way we operate and function were properly ventilated, and as professional managers and battle-seasoned politicians, we will go back and try to see to the extent to which we can institutionalize some of those things that it brings about an improved culture in the New Democratic Party for resolving issues.
Leacock made it clear that he never questioned Dr. Friday's leadership and acknowledged that his frustration on issues may have caused some misunderstandings.
Let me be very clear on this matter. At no time at all I've questioned Dr. Friday's leadership or have been uncertain as to whether he had the capacity to lead the New Democratic Party. And I've always been emphatic that you could only have one leader at a given time. That leader is the president of the New Democratic Party, Dr. Friday. It is for me to learn and improve and being able to small up oneself and to have, as he requested, to have his back at all times, and that assurance I've given to him. And I believe that the party will be bigger and better for it as we go forward. I mean, it's a lot of years that have been invested here between us, and even within the short time that we have functioned in the same unit. We are over 50 years of political experience together. That is Dr. Friday, Patel, and myself. And we have good foundations upon which we can build. But more than that, the message is not really about us. It is the thousands of people who have invested their hope that we can get things together and to live a better life for them. And that's the commitment that we have.
In other news, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is urging the government of the United States of America to refrain from recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of the State of Israel. A declaration of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the status of Jerusalem issued through a press release by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Commerce earlier today states that any such recognition would imperil the internationally agreed two-state solution, destabilize the Middle East region, and invalidate the important role of the United States as an honest broker of the Israeli-Palestinian peace process. It has been noted in the news release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that in 1980, in response to an Israeli attempt to declare Jerusalem to be the capital of Israel, the United Nations Security Council condemned that declaration as a violation of international law. The news release further expressed SVG's deep concern about any attempts to deviate from the settled parameters governing the delicate quest for peace between the State of Israel and the State of Palestine, noting that the role of the United States as a valued facilitator would compromise any attempt to preempt the negotiating process and will not in any way advance the cause of a just, peaceful, and lasting solution solution to the dispute between the peoples of Israel and Palestine by making unilateral pronouncements on final status issues. Aimed at heightening awareness on domestic violence here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Division of Gender Affairs in the Ministry of National Mobilization earlier today held a sensitization workshop on the new domestic violence legislation in relation to its protocols and procedures. The workshop, which forms part of the division's 16-day of activism campaign against gender-based violence, saw the participation of various stakeholders leading the charge against domestic violence. In her remarks, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of National Mobilization, Narissa Gittins-Macmillan, said her ministry continues to empower and provide the necessary outreach support to persons, including victims and perpetrators, to combat domestic violence.
Monies which are spent to combat these actions can be spent otherwise for national development. However, since we know and have established that our human resource is our most significant resource, then every effort must be taken to protect that resource. We're looking at the legislation, the protocols and the procedures so that when a victim shows up at our individual door, we are prepared to deal with them in a dignified manner. We are aware of what our roles and responsibilities are to assist those individuals.
SVG's representative of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, Anique Wilson, commended the ministry and other involved stakeholders for their interest and hard work in tackling domestic violence.
Millions of women and girls around the world are assaulted, beaten, or even murdered, which constitutes appalling violations of their human rights. The situation, as you know, in St. Vincent is also critical, and we need to look at it, and I would like to commend the country for its commitment to improving the quality of and advancing gender equality and empowering women in line with the international obligations. But more can and should be done. In this regard, I urge you, the partners who are here today, to break the silence and act when you witness any violence against women and girls, and to push for a multi-sectoral response to violence against women. I want to just pause and commend the Gender Affairs Department for having such an intersectoral meeting today to start the response process.
Minister with responsibility for gender affairs, Frederick Stevenson, encouraged the participants to take in as much information as they can to help others deal with the issue.
It is my ministry and government's intention to build awareness on the benefits of the domestic violence legislation and the complementary protocols and procedures for responding to reports. It means that the Domestic Violence Act of 2015, number 7, must be implemented fully and consistently, and the necessary systems must be put in place, that is, the available resources and the trained staff, and I know that the ministry we are working on that, so that the Act can achieve its desired impact on minimizing all forms of violence in our country. Discussions are currently ongoing to finalize these protocols so that they can be documented and be used as a guidebook for all the stakeholders and future training of officers.
Simple threats can become serious offenses. That's according to Inspector Cheryl James of the RSVG Police Force attached to the Criminal Investigations Department, as she spoke on NBC Radio's Views and Issues program last Sunday, highlighting the issue of domestic violence. Inspector James stated that in many cases, victims take threats of bodily harm lightly and warn that such an attitude can cause their death.
Now, in St. Vincent, there's a serious charge of threats under Section 165 that carries a penalty of 10 years. A lot of persons are not aware of this. And we are not supposed to even take the slightest threat, with a pinch of salt. We're supposed to respond promptly, because in a lot of cases, simple threats become serious offenses, even with resulting in murder. A person might say, I would do this, I will kill you and whatever, and even the victim takes it slightly, because maybe she may afford or he may afford this person saying that on several occasions before and didn't execute the threats. So we have to encourage persons that we don't take threats lightly, and all threats or bodily harm should be reported. And as police officer, as law enforcement officer, we have a responsibility. It's not a favor that we're doing persons, to respond to them promptly.
The police inspector added that instances where domestic violence are reported, the police must respond promptly to the victim, and highlighted some of the procedures involved when making a report.
In most cases, a lot of the issues we have to issue what we call injury report forms. Now, we can do one of two things, depending on the nature of the offense and all of that, and the facts surrounding it. We can accompany that person to see a doctor, or we maybe can send him to see a doctor. Now, when those forms have been written up by the doctor, by the district medical officer or some doctor, the forms are supposed to be returned to the police officer, where at that point, depending on the seriousness of the injuries sustained, we determine what offense was committed. And the next move, even before we even get the forms back, depending on what is taking place, we should go and get hold of that person. And according to this new act, we have the authority where we can acquire a warrant and go and get that person. So there's nothing that would be stopping us or preventing us now from getting the perpetrator before things get out of hand.
Inspector James also called for more training of police officers to adequately deal with issues of domestic violence, and gave some advice to persons who may feel slighted by a police officer when making a report.
There's always somebody above that person. We have constables, we have corporals, we have sergeants, station sergeants, inspector, and right up the ladder. And if in your opinion your matter is not being addressed properly, you get in contact with somebody who is senior. In the district, there's a divisional officer. At CID, there's a superintendent. So if you're having problems, you can report it to somebody else, and you don't even have to go in person. You can make a call and lodge your complaint. And there's the public relations department in the police force as well, that you can make a call to them and get your matter addressed. So it is not that you stop there because some police did not entertain your report. You can report further, make a call, or go in person and have your matter dealt with. And I try to encourage police officers not to slight these things as much as I can, and that is why we have to have some training, some serious training for the police officers, for them to understand the seriousness of these offenses, and that really can't be slighting them.
Bringing an end to a month of activities for Tourism Month observed in November each year, the Ministry of Tourism last Saturday, December 2nd, 2017, hosted the 2017 SVG Tourism Awards. The event aims at recognizing the outstanding services offered by various stakeholders in the tourism and hotel industry, and was held at the Blue Lagoon Hotel, with over 30 individuals and businesses receiving awards for their hard work and dedication towards the development of the industry. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
Some 32 stakeholders within the tourism and hotel industry were last Saturday, December 2nd, awarded for their efforts to maintain a high tourism service standard and code of practice, as the Ministry of Tourism held its 2017 SVG Tourism Authority SVG-TV Tourism Awards poolside at the Blue Lagoon Hotel. Deeming tourism as SVG's #1 industry, CEO of the SVG-TV, Glenn Beach, in his remarks, outlined that 2017 has been an excellent year for tourism, with the industry having received a much-needed boost with the opening of the Argyle International Airport.
Keeps our head above water. There are many other important industries, and I don't want anybody to take it out of context, but this is it. And 2017 has been a very big year for the tourism industry. We need to continue to grow. We have a product that is second to none in the Caribbean and second to none in the world as far as I'm concerned. But we all have to play our part. I want to congratulate the stakeholders that are here this evening, and we're here to award some of them because they have played a tremendous part in the tourism product here growing.
The SVG-TA CEO further urged Vincentians to continue to promote SVG as the ultimate destination.
We speak about our product, but in order to promote our product, we have to know our product. A lot of us love to compare us to Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica. Let me say this, none of them have anything on us. None of them. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is arguably the most diverse product within the Caribbean. 32 islands and keys. Pay for one, get 31 free.
Minister of Tourism Cecil Mackey also urged stakeholders to stay on top of their game.
To you, the stakeholders, you have played your part in a major way. We have engaged you and we have said to you the quality of your service, the quality of your products, and standards are critical to us developing the industry. And you have also responded in a major way. We now have activities virtually all year round, to the extent that we can now showcase an annual calendar of sporting and cultural events.
A number of awards were presented on Saturday night as tourism and hotel stakeholders came together to recognize the contribution of those who continue to put in the work in developing the tourism industry. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
From December 16 to the 24th this year, Vincentians here at home, those returning from the diaspora, and other visitors to our shores will be a part of a unique Vincentian tradition as the National 9 Mornings Committee, in collaboration with the Department of Culture and various 9 Mornings communities, host the 2017 9 Mornings Festival. At the festival's official launch on Sunday evening, patrons took part in a traditional parade of the streets in capital Kingston, after which they witnessed the grand lighting up of Heritage Square and heard from representatives of the various 9 Mornings communities about what makes their 9 Mornings activities the best.
9 mornings, coming down. 9 mornings, just having fun.
Undoubtedly one of SVG's premier festivals, hundreds of Vincentians gathered at the Heritage Square Sunday, December 3rd to be a part of the activities for the official launch of the 2017 9 Mornings Festival. Hosted by the National 9 Mornings Committee, NMC, the launch, which began with a street parade through the streets of capital Kingston, culminated with the lighting of the square and committed concert at the Heritage Square. Under the theme Spreading the Love, this year's festival, according to Deputy Chairman of the NMC, Lennox Bowman, will see all Vincentians coming together in solidarity for their sister islands recently devastated by Hurricanes Irma and Maria.
And these countries are going through a very, very difficult time. That is why this year, we want us to think about them. We want us to give. We want us to lend our support to them because we went through that difficult time not too long ago. I want to thank, first of all the powers that be over the years who give 100% support to the idea and the continuance of 9 Mornings. 44 communities are lighting up. And I really want you to put your hands together for those communities who work really hard day in, day out. The diaspora, you are critical to our 9 Mornings. That is why we have reciprocated and we say every year we have 1 morning designated to the diaspora.
Bowman also called on more businesses to not only support the festival, but partake in the lighting up of the city.
I would really love to see a bit more of the businesses put up a little lights. We have the best Christmas in the Caribbean. It is the first place where people think about when they talk about Christmas in the Caribbean. And it would be really nice if we can see a few more of our businesses lighting up.
Officially declaring the opening of the festival, on behalf of the Minister of Culture, CEO of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glenn Beach, commended the 9 Mornings Committee for their hard work over the years.
Give them a round of applause. It's not easy to put all of this together. Give them a big round of applause for organizing this. I want to thank the over 40 communities that are taking part this year in the 9 Mornings Festival. Great things to be seen. I hope everybody just don't come to Kingstown, go to all the community groups, see it, Stubbs, which is a favorite of mine. Go wherever you need to go and really experience it.
There were also performances from a number of local artists, as well as various 9 Mornings communities.
After 6 is Molex, after 6 is Relix, and worship Him, the Son of God.
Merry, say aha. Christmas, say aha.
Soon it will be Christmas Day. I want you to sing with me. Sing Silver Bells.
Oh, listen, everybody say, girl, oh, Lord, hey, girl.
With the 9 Mornings community activities slated to run from December 16th and culminate on December 24th, the Ministry of Culture urges all Vincentians and visitors alike to go out and support the unique Vincentian tradition. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
And at Sunday's launching ceremony of the 2017 Christmas 9 Mornings Festival, 3 local artisans were recognized for the stalwart contribution to the creative arts here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by the Vincentian Association for Artists, Writers and Producers. President of the association, Rene Batiste, in her presentation commended the work of local artisans, noting that their work must be recognized and celebrated, which is the aim of the awards. The board of the association this year presented the Lifetime Achievement Award to the String Band Harmonites, which has and continues to produce great musical renditions using the indigenous instruments. Renowned dramatist David Daki Williams was also recognized as he was presented with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Drama for his years of contribution in creative writing, directing and producing. The 2017 National Poet of the Year Award went to Michael Peters for his contribution to local poetry over the years. Accepting the award, Peters thanked the association for bestowing upon him such an esteemed title.
Savior Jesus Christ, because He is the one who provides all of the inspiration. What I simply do is record what He has placed in my spirit, and all good things cometh from above. Once you find the Lord, He will inspire you to inspire others. And secondly, I want to thank all of those persons who have listened and supported and encouraged the work over the years. And I also want to thank the Vincentian Association of Artists, Writers and Producers for this recognition. I will cherish it very dearly. And thank you, the Vincentian public, for supporting all of the artists in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you.